Okay, come, Phil, let's record.
All right, I'm recording. Well, I'll be waiting for you. We're recording here as well, Auntie. Yeah, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's time to record. It's the boy Fitza P and the boy Denias. We're here recording. This is going out as video as well, then. We're doing video this time. We're back to video.
Oh, because you ready for I'm not ready. I haven't set up nothing for video yet.
Why do you have to do that with my webcam?
My...
The only thing I've done is I'm in the lounge because it's cold. As you can see, the aircon is on because guy, the temperatures these past few days have been
Yeah, Phil has been tweeting like he's been Instagramming like a real millennial. Actually posting about his life for real. Posting his actual life. Hey guys, I'm cold. Remember when we used to do that on social media in like 2000
Just had a pizza. It was okay.
Foursquare.
Phil just checked into Chicken Hut. Samora Michelle. He is the mayor.
You are the mayor of Mecca.
I love
Going
it.
to bed early today, guys. Oh my goodness.
No, I know the going to bed early was a bad signal. That was a clear sign that, hey,
No,
don't disturb
guys,
me.
I'm sorry. No,
I'm signing off tonight. I got other things going on.
To me, that's one of the biggest differences between generations, because I don't understand. Like the way younger generations use social media is so crazy to me, because I remember when Instagram was me posting a photo of something cool I saw today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now they view it as a content platform. You gotta curate your content. Whereas it used to be, I saw a cool thing today, photo post. So you see, it's just completely different mindsets about social media. Anyway, this week Phil was posting very cold, feeling cold today.
That's not what I was posting. I just found some funny memes of people that were cold.
Worse, even worse. This was Facebook boomer humor. Oh my gosh.
I love it. But I know it was cold. You know what? I think we need to make this a regular segment. It's called the pre-intro rant. I think from now on, that's what we're going to do. We're going to call it the pre-intro rant. So before we start the show, I'm going to get a little rant off. Today, my rant goes out to the city of Johannesburg. Dan, as you know, I've been here a couple of weeks. Do you know how many times the water has gone in the times I've been in Joburg?
No.
6. 6 times. So, as a Zimbabwean, this is my default setting. So I've already been having arguments with the locals here about certain things. Don't get these containers because these containers make the house look messy, or we don't need to store water because the water's going to come back, and the water doesn't come back. So what I've done as an enterprising Zimbabwean is I've defaulted to what I know and what I know best. I went and I got my stackable 25-liter water containers, bought those bad boys. After the first few days, I was getting looked at sideways. By day 3, people were like, oh snap, that water is actually useful. We can use it to do things like shower, flush the toilet, wash the dishes, the basics. And then the water came back. Then they're like, yeah, that's not going to happen again. Get rid of those water bottles. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. Refilled them, got more.
Okay,
then
but what's going on? Is it just failure of service delivery, or is it like
it's the Zimbabweification of South Africa, which they are in narrow about. So once again, now water goes again next weekend. Water goes again. They come up with a story: air servicing pipe, best pipe, chichi, low pressure. The usual stories we've been told by Zinwa for 20 years. I know the playbook, Dan. I know the excuses. So the water goes again. Now we have to go get water. So I'm like, yo, where do you guys normally buy your bulk water? Everyone looks at me sideways. I'm like, okay, it's a desperate situation. Lo and behold, I just Googled the nearest water place. I go find a water place. There's a queue round the block for this water place of people filling up water containers because they're all out of water, not for drinking water. So people are buying drinking water to bath in. You'd think at this point, people would have realized, wait a minute, we're hustling backwards. Maybe we should solve this water problem. So I put it to the landlord and the HOA, because they love HOAs here. Guys, what about getting some JoJo tanks? They don't cost that much. No, unnecessary. JoJo tanks, they'll sully the look of the complex. This is a well-designed establishment. We can't, no, it's just an eyesore. And it's really unnecessary. We'll need no water. The same woman who hit me with that story. A week later, when the water went again, I saw a chair out in Vura from the pool. Oh, then I was smug. Have you ever seen like an older white woman being reduced? Kuchera mvura pool.
Okay. I'm confused. Didn't these people tell us that, you must go and fight your hurment when such things happen? Why is there no outrage? My timeline doesn't have anyone.
I don't know if you've seen, Dan. This is why Helen Zille is going to be the new mayor.
That would be wild, yeah. That'd be wild.
All that to say, I for one, it's such a fascinating thing seeing people living in denial. Because water went again by this time now, I'm used to it. I'm like, yo, fill that bathtub up with water. Fill the bathtub up with water. Water went the whole weekend. Nary a care in the world, Dan. I had water to spare. I had a full bathtub.
From the bucket, though.
What, Dan, these are my default settings. We've discussed this. I'm not even ashamed to say it. As a Zimbabwean, bucket bath number 1. I was born in the bucket. I was raised in the bucket. You were a mere babe by the time I'd mastered my finishing move in the bucket.
I was molded by it. I did not see a shower till I was grown. I remember seeing some discourse on the timeline about people seemingly making fun of bucket baths, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be involved in this one, guys. I know I know the country I live in. I know the situation that we find ourselves in.
Amen.
Why must we all pretend? Guys,
people
whatever fancy event you want to go to, unless that person came in a Rolls. And even then.
We've had this discussion on the podcast before, and we've said definitively we have big doubts that even number 1 Wemnyika Yedu has not at one point in his life had to take a bucket. I can guarantee that. I'm pretty sure that's happened. And I'm not ashamed to say it. It's nothing wrong. Dan, you know some of my relatives. I'm related to some very, 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 very well-off people. I don't put their names out there, but you know who I'm talking about. I know for a fact he's bucket bust because I boiled the water for him.
Yeah. Anyway, Phil, let's start this show. Let's not spend too much time lamenting. But shout out to Joburg. And I'm surprised no one is. I mean, I haven't seen. This is the first I'm hearing of this shortage that's going on.
Oh, and I know it's. Here's the funny thing, Dan. It's actually been an ongoing thing for the past 2 years. So if you just search Bryanston, Rivonia, Woodmead, Sunninghill, Midrand, water shortage, you'll see. So Midrand is the only place that has actually admitted defeat. If you go to the new apartments in Midrand and around Waterfall, ironically, Waterfall, they all have JoJo tanks because they know they don't have water supply. But these old apartments with these HOAs, with these, how do I put it delicately? Zima must go type of women. They refuse.
I just searched Bryanston and I see that Lasizwe is selling his house.
Oh, word? Okay.
Oh, I don't know why this is the big story about Bryanston right now.
Also,
the big
that's your fault for
really
searching.
Want this on the internet.
Dude, Twitter search is wild. Have you ever, Twitter search, you'll search for potatoes and next thing,
water. Don't ever use Twitter search only for locations and very clearly tech marked things.
Have you noticed that too? I'm not the only one, right?
I was like, why is Drake trending? I don't understand. What are all these clips I'm seeing of Drake? What's going on? Was this a TV show of some kind? What's going on? I don't know. I can't remember what I typed in. I typed in something like I typed in something like
oh my god.
Yeah.
I just searched Lasizwe. No, I searched Bryanston. To your credit, Lasizwe's photo came up. Oh my god, I wish this podcast was audio. Sorry for disturbing, but you let me send this to you, Dan. This is the photo that I'm presented with. because it might be different for everyone. Look at the photo I get for when I search Bryanston of Lasizwe. Check your WhatsApp. Why are his cheeks out in a houseless state?
Anyway.
Why am I seeing Lasizwe's cheeks?
Let's start this show. Let's not dwell too much on.
Okay, it says, is this post relevant to my search? I don't know how to answer because it kind of is, but the image is kind of not. How do I say yes or no?
All right. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen.
Good to go.
Are y'all?
Good to go.
Are you?
Good to go.
Is everybody?
Good to go. Sound a big thing them. Hey, 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 hey. Get mad now.
Let me hear a drum play.
Hey, 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 hey.
Right. We're gonna. Still recovering from that COVID-26. Yo, that really hit my lungs, man. Yo.
Is that what they call in the new pack? Is that what they call in the new pack out here, Dan?
Welcome one more again to another episode of your favorite podcast. This is Two Broke Twimbos. My name is Danny That Guy, aka Dennis the Mad Titan, aka Denford Wegmaraini, aka Denimbi My Life Here Entertainment, aka Would you ever ride in a car driven by the president of Kenya, Philip?
Are you talking about that skit that was on the timeline?
No, I'm just asking if you would.
About Chidaf Dav.
AKA Aguna Mumundi Danmo. Actually, no, I changed what I want to start with. AKA, thank goodness I'm not Rocky. AKA Aguna Mumundi Danmo.
Blazarepa Mawan.
Rocky, what are you doing, bro?
She was like, Chizoka Nemari. And he's not only the unmistakable, the irrefutable, the unquestionable, the undeniable, the fully bathed and bathable in a showerable Phil Chatter gave Live Lost, the big boss, baby gave feeds up, he sexy, dirty, filthy Phil. And of course, Shamani Jingle Drink. How are you guys doing? Are you well? Are you strong? Are you good? Small deviation again. Dan, since you've been in South Africa, have you noticed how many places Mbanje is just widely available?
Oh, okay. Let me tell you something. Cape Town. Cape Town is take 2 steps and you are enveloped in cloud. You are in a
you
cloud
just smell it everywhere.
that you can't escape. It's bad here for your lungs, is what I can say. Listen, guys, let's start off with some Africans and Zimbabweans doing big things. If you're unfamiliar with this segment, Phil and I noticed over time that, we always seem to be discussing negative things on this podcast. Who messed up? Who did something stupid? Who is what? So, you know what? We thought, why don't we start the podcast with something positive? Someone to celebrate. Someone we can say, yay, before we get into any kind of mess. And this now led to our now very popular and long-running segment, Zimbabweans Doing It Big. We ran out of Zimbabweans, so we're like, hey, why don't we expand it to Africans? But there's always Zimbabweans doing big things. So basically, it's Zimbabweans anywhere in the world who have done something noteworthy that we want to mention and celebrate on this podcast. So let me start off by mentioning, I saw conflicting reports on whether he's 15 or 16 years old, but let's just say he's either 15 or 16, somewhere there. His name is Darren Motsi, an England youth international of Zimbabwean parentage who came through Leicester City's academy. He has joined or has been signed or has been linked. No, I think there's a here we go that came from Fabrizio Romano for Darren Motsi to join Manchester City, the runners-up of the Premier League. So congratulations, Darren Motsi. I hope you got yourself a nice bag that came with it, and I hope that you impress enough to get yourself that crazy bag that comes down the line. So congratulations. He is viewed as one of the brightest academy prospects on the market. Oh, yeah. He just turned 16. That's why.
Oh, wow.
All right, cool. He turned 16 last month.
Sticky Steen.
So congratulations, Darren Motsi, a left-sided attacker, plays off the right. Left-footed attacker who plays off the right, cuts inside, sometimes plays as a 10. All right, shout out to you. Congratulations, Darren Motsi, on the big move to Manchester City. If we're still paying attention to Zimbabweans who are moving in the transfer window, which is crazy, but Marvelous Nakamba, he got his own. Here we go, going to Panathinaikos.
Panathinaikos, you mean?
No, Panetolikos. Panetolikos.
Oh,
There's
of
an L
course,
in there,
Dan.
definitely.
I mean, come on. That's just after the whirlpool when Odysseus hit the sharp left. They went to the island of Panathinaikos. Come on, man. It's just obvious.
All right. I shout out Marvelous Nakamba. And a couple of months ago, we reported to you in depth the slurry of beauty queens out of Zimbabwe who had won all the various Miss Universes, worlds, supranationals, internationals, etc., ad nauseum. Well, one of those winners was Miss Supranational Zimbabwe, aka Nicole Nyawera, who has been competing at Miss Supranational, representing Zimbabwe. That just wrapped up. She reached the top 24. The final winner was Katrina Legado of the Philippines. But yeah, so final 24 apparently was a good showing. She apparently really did really well in the national dress part of the competition. I think they called it the bridal veil gown is what she was wearing, with Zimbabwean shapings in it and whatever. So yeah, congratulations to Nicole. She apparently did well. And many people, I saw articles somewhere say that she won the national dress, but there was no national dress competition part of it. So I don't know. It's just, let's just say she looked nice in that dress. And congratulations on that top 24 finish. Okay, that's pretty much it on there. Some things to follow up from last week, Phil. You know, we had some good feedback, Phil. Now, two major things. One, we spoke about Haifa, and some people were also talking about, they were reminiscing on Haifa. But I think the more interesting feedback, remember we asked Phil, why is it that so many people in the diaspora say things like, I don't hang out with Zimbabweans, or I avoid Zimbabweans, or avoid Zimbabwean events, and so on?
Yeah.
So I thought that was an interesting talking point, and there is two people who shared their opinions as to why. So let me read that. So just to remind everyone, we were discussing this curious situation that happens in the diaspora because it seems to be such a common sentiment that people who live in the UK or the US or Australia, whatever it is, who say, I deliberately avoid fellow Zimbabweans in this community. And it's happened so often that both Phil and I were wondering, why is this a thing? So I don't know if she wants her name out there, so I won't share it. To add my 2 cents on the reason why some Zimbos avoid other Zimbos in the diaspora, it's often because of how close-knit the community can be. I'll speak from my experience and my generation. It means everyone knows your business, including those who don't wish you well. For example, kids in their 20s, if a guy dates one girl and one of them cheats on the other, why does that have to come into the story? Why can't we have hypothetical situations about success or a business or anyway, Anzratova drama because everyone knows it's low-key incestuous. Then there's classism, which we already have in Zim. Even subconsciously, we all end up in circles with people in the same social status. People live Zim under different circumstances: refugees, care work, vocational studies, post-grad, au pairs, professionals, relocate with their families at a young age, etc. And this causes weirdness when high school conversations come up. It's the ghetto youth school unplugged scenario, but all the time. Sometimes you meet people you gravitate toward because they're from Zim, but real talk, you guys would not be friends back home. So it becomes people who don't really like each other in spaces, and that can be drama. And then someone else agreed with that and said, you guys would not be friends back home has been my go-to for more than a decade. And I saw that, and I tell you what, I kind of get that. I get that. It's like, you know how in school you are friends by default because those are the people that are there, right? Those are your friends by default. But as you grow up, you become friends with people who are somewhat similar to you for different things. It might be social, it might be economic, maybe it might be activities, whatever the case is. But if the default is because we're both Zimbabwean, then you might actually not click or might not link up and whatever. So anyway, if anyone else wants to share on that topic, I think it's an interesting discussion to have. Nevertheless, we have now caught up and we are in our current time. And we have no more, unless there's something, Phil, unless someone sent you a message that I didn't see or received an email or something.
I think there is, but I'm struggling to open my thing. Carry on. We'll come back to it. Sorry.
Okay, cool. All right, let's talk about some of the things that were in the news this week or that a lot of people were talking about. Probably the big story this week, and it is a tragic story, is the disaster that happened in Kariba with that ferry. It's a ferry called the Mbuyane. It was operated by the Rural Infrastructure Development Agency. So when I first saw this story, I assumed it was like a cruise, as is common in Kariba. But no, actually, it's a transportation ferry that carries people between Kariba town and the Chalala fishing camps. And it's operated by this government agency. And apparently, this ferry capsized on Tuesday, the 11th of August. Apparently, it was near Long Island in rough conditions. It is now reported as the deadliest maritime incident on record in Zimbabwe. The latest police report, which came out earlier today, put the death toll at 44 bodies recovered, so 44 confirmed dead, 67 survivors, but still some unaccounted for, because apparently there was no proper counting or something of the people that went on board. By the way, this is a ferry that is supposedly has a capacity of 90 people. So the fact that we're already counting 44 bodies, 67 survivors, and still some unaccounted for should tell you a little bit about how overloaded it was. Some estimates were saying that it had almost 150 people on it, but that might just be speculation. So this has become a huge story, because obviously it's very tragic and so preventable and avoidable. The president put out a statement where he said that he had declared a national disaster. What does that mean, by the way, when you say declare national disaster? Like, apart from the label, what?
Aren't flags supposed to fly at half-mast?
Yeah, okay, but like, does that mean there's money from the budget applied? Anyway, if someone knows, please let us know. So obviously it's led to a lot of discussion and speculation and people who are calling for heads to roll, which I think is a bare minimum. I think 100% there's people that needs to be fired. Even if you believe that, accidents happen and so on. The fact that it was known that this ferry was in bad condition, it was known. And the fact that it was overloaded, someone dropped the ball. Whoever is in charge. Apparently the captain, from what I heard, who a lot of the survivors were placing the blame on him. Apparently he was one of the casualties. I believe so. Yeah, but still, whoever hired him or is in charge of him or something, there needs to be someone who has to.
Okay, here we go. I
music.
brought up, so there were two, and then there was an email. Lindsay, this was a segment I forwarded to three people.
Oh, what, are we going back to what we were talking about before?
I don't want to talk about death.
Okay, hold it. Let's bring it as soon as we finish the story. Then we'll come back to those.
I'm so sad. I'm sorry. I can't cope with.
All right. Okay, so just two things. We're not going to spend too much time about this. I mean, this happened. There was negligence, and people need to face the music. But there's two things that I want to talk about. Number one, I hate how we talk about tragedies and disasters as a collective. There's an almost opportunistic, almost a glee that some people have from seeing a disaster or a tragedy happen because it gives them the ammunition they have to push their agenda. And whether you agree with the agenda or not, whether it's right or wrong or any, like in all of that, I think is a valid conversation. I just hate that tragedies are used for that. And maybe that's the way of the world. That's just how it is. But I remember feeling it just didn't feel right to me. Two, there was a particular exchange that happened on Twitter. There's this travel blogger or travel guy. He posts picturesque tourist locations in Zimbabwe type thing. And roughly round about the time that the news broke of this ferry disaster that happened, and there was speculation that 90 people were dead, he posted a sunset cruise on Kariba. Nice, calm, beautiful on some cruise ship or cruise boat on Kariba. So naturally, as you can expect, a lot of people were upset with this, and there was a lot of backlash, and people were saying, like, how can you post this at this time, etc. So, I saw that happen, right? And I was just like, okay, it could be timing. Maybe there was a scheduled tweet. Maybe he didn't even see the news. Or even if he did see the news and in his mind, he didn't think that, like, oh yeah, this is something different. These are two unconnected things. Still, the anger and the backlash of people posting surely must have triggered something. Nah, he doubled down and he said, listen, my post has nothing to do with this disaster. Redirect your anger, please, to where it's supposed to go. And this led to a big debate with many key figures even getting involved. The debate was, I commented on it by saying, I find this fascinating because I don't understand why. And from my comments, I could see that there's a strong bot network in Zimbabwe also. Anyway, it led to a very vicious debate that happened online. And the big story here, obviously, is this disaster. But this is just an interesting observation I have of how we react to this kind of thing. So let me try and wrap my thoughts around this. Let's say I run a business at Kariba, a tourism business, right? Mm-hmm. And I want to market my business. So I'm posting on social media, wow, here's some beautiful places you can go, or this is what it will look like, or wow, the sunset looks so beautiful when you come on this cruise, etc., etc. When there's a tragedy like this one, which happened in that same area, that is now national news to the extent that it's declared a national disaster that everyone is talking about, to me, it seems like a no-brainer that, you know what, let's pause on that for a moment. Let's actually maybe let's say, how corporates will sometimes get involved in social discussions. Why not be the corporate, if you are a corporate or whatever, that, expresses your condolences, et cetera, leave it for a moment. 3 days later, actually, we were so sad about what happened, but business does continue here in Kariba, and continue with your thing, right? To me, that seems like a very logical course of action. But others vehemently disagreed. They said, guys, and I'm just trying to capture everyone's thoughts here. Guys, even if there was a terrible tragedy, business continues, does it not? Will there not still be cruises in that big lake? They will be there. And will they not still need to be advertised? So why are you mad at this person for advertising his business? He is not the cause of this issue. He is not involved with it in any way. Why don't you redirect your anger to this RIDA, the Rural Infrastructure Development Agency, and by extension, the government, for the negligence that would potentially have led to this tragedy? I don't know, Philip, how do you see this? To me, it seems clear that even if you disagree, I'm confused. But anyway, yeah, I want to hear your thoughts.
I'm not sure what your question is.
I guess ultimately it boils down to this. The way I see it is, I can see a world that not everyone sees things the same way. And I can see a world where someone can say, yeah, I really am I'm not connected to that. If you feel that, that's all well and good. But I don't understand why you would then, even from a business perspective, continue to post. I guess my question to you is, how do you see it? Do you see it as performative to try and be like, oh, now I have to pretend not to be focusing on my business because some people are going to be angry, when in reality, I'm not the one who's involved in this anyway. So why are you mad at me? Which I think ultimately is what people are arguing, that it's performative, that you're angry at this person, but he's not the one who was involved with this.
No, I think
You're looking for a softer target rather than putting your anger where it's supposed to be.
I think two things can be true at the same time. I think first and foremost, genuinely condolences go out to the families of everyone who lost their lives in this terrible accident. I think definitely there are people that are responsible for this, and it's the people that are paid to look after Zimbabwean citizens. Certain things we can't get into on this podcast. For more, go to Fadzima Here's page. But that is a disaster, a national disaster. As you just said, in any other democracy, heads would literally be rolling as we speak. People would be not only getting fired, but they would be called in front of parliament with a full inquest, a full investigation, a full report, and a full set of corrective measures to make sure this never, ever, ever, ever happens again. We're nowhere even close to that, and that breaks my heart. That's annoying. It's frustrating. It's disheartening. Downright disgusting that human life in Zimbabwe means so little. And it's the performative thing is some lives matter more than others depending on how those lives are lost. Depending on how many political points people can gain. Some families get cars after being in a car accident. If we had to use the transitive property, Chidaf Daf is going to buy everyone boats after this. I don't know. I think on one side, that I understand. Tragic. On the other side, I think it's just reading the room. At the end of the day, marketing is not an exact science, but it's a science in essentially there's what we call intrinsic value and perceived value. Marketing is the difference between the two, right? I need water. If I'm thirsty, I need to buy water. When I walk into the store, I'm going to the store to buy water. Your marketing efforts determine which bottle of water I'm going to buy. Right? Now, if you've done enough goodwill, if you've done enough good selling, if you've positioned, if you've packaged, if you've done all the right things, I'm always going to gravitate to your bottle of water. And I might not even be able to explain why. Like you might ask me, yo, Phil, why are you buying that water? You know, I don't know. It just tastes better. It's water. It doesn't really taste the same. It doesn't really have any difference. And the same here can be for this. As a business, we understand your ferries will continue to run. As a business, we understand there are people on holiday in Kariba. There are people who need to go to work or move up and down the river today. Running ads does what exactly? Because when they go to the dock, they are going to see the boat. And the people that are catching a ferry on a day after such a tragedy aren't because they want to. It's more than likely because they have to. So I don't understand the point of having to advertise. It's like selling fireproof vests the day after 9/11. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? Like, what are you doing? What's going on? And I think people really lack that level of tact. I'm literally looking at it now. I'm not going to mention the name, but there's a DJ who posted a mix on a Kariba cruise. I want to message him like, my guy, I know what you're planning. They won't be mirror 2 or 3 days. It may not be related. Okay. But and I'm saying all this to say, I totally understand people's, sorry, just to cut you off. I understand why people are upset. Because yes, it does come across in poor taste, but also yes, people are looking for a cheap whipping post. But at the end of the day, I don't understand what the positive is on both sides. What is the positive of trying to advertise during this time? Like, who remembers, or who's going to be like, hey, remember was that tragedy? Man, shout out to Dan's Ferries because they kept running and they kept, kept things going. I don't see the plus side of that. On the other side, people that are upset at a company advertising, unless they are using images of the dead bodies or blatantly trying to make it seem like our ferries don't capsize, so come with us. Like, also, like, there are genuine people to be upset at. I don't think it's them. Are they bad at advertising? Definitely. Is their marketing poor? Sure. Do they need to be raked over the coals? Not really. Maybe a slap on the wrist, maybe a bit of correction, but let's not overreact. They are real victims that need to be remembered here.
Okay. I think that's a common sense take. The way I was looking at it was, okay, in my mind, it's in poor taste. And in fact, it's almost insulting to post how beautiful your life is in the wake of such a tragedy, especially when the tragedy is primarily affecting, those in poverty. Or at least that's the indication we seem to have. But even if you don't believe so, because not everyone's going to have the same mindset that I have, and I'm willing to accept that, I asked the same question that Phil asked, like, there's no positive to posting in my mind. It's only negative. There's no positive that you'll get from posting at this time. Why not wait a couple of days? Even 1 day, all right. 1 day. Just post 24 hours later. Well, what are condolences to all those affected? Notwithstanding, the show must go on. We still have our ferries going. Whatever. In fact, it wasn't even advertising. It's like a travel blog. Look how beautiful this is. That's the whole vibe of it. So anyway, to me, it was fascinating because I was watching this person. They posted it. Then a ton of people were like, there was outrage under the post, and then he turned off comments. But obviously people are still talking and tagging and whatever. Then he puts out there and he says, please note that my post has nothing to do with that tragedy. Please keep that in mind. Everyone's like, this what? And then now he starts responding to people individually, saying, why are you angry at me? Direct your anger to where it's supposed to go. I don't have to listen to you. What? And he's doubling down and he's responding to people. And I'm fascinated by that because why wouldn't you want to build goodwill? The whole point, either you're advertising this business or you're advertising your page as a travel blogger or you're advertising yourself as someone who knows beautiful environments or whatever. In all those scenarios, is it not beneficial for you to have people's goodwill? So even if you personally don't care, why wouldn't you? That to me, that was like, it was fascinating to watch that human behavior. And the conclusion I came to was it's an ego thing. No one wants to admit or to say, all right, my bad, I made a mistake. Like, I would rather burn this business to the ground than say, my bad, yo, that was bad timing.
Yeah,
that's what. That's the conclusion I came to. Anyway, those are the two main things I wanted to talk about. But yeah, terrible story. And yeah, mad condolences. Because yeah, ish. Anyway, moving on. Yes, now Phil, you found those contributions to our earlier discussion. Please lay them on me.
Someone just sent a text. Try to change the gears here. Okay, let's change gears. Happy thoughts once again. Hope people are okay. I have now used Chibububu 3 times this week to describe my office Wi-Fi situation. You two are single-handedly exporting Shona slang to the diaspora. Please keep a running glossary in the show notes.
You're telling me that in the middle of our sobering ferry discussion, this is what you were going to read?
No, I don't. Same, get.
Same. Actually, never mind. I don't know why I asked your opinion. Okay. I will look for some more Shona slang to use in these
I just tried some fun, and then there was another one. It says, Phil opening the app to calculate someone's gold yields in the clubs to do maths on a stranger's weekly, monthly revenue is the most Zimbabwean thing I've heard all year. Then the other one. This is from someone we actually know, but once again, Dan, we are thought leaders. I don't know if you know. They were talking about Haifa. And the segment you guys did on Haifa is incredible, and I forwarded it to 3 people. You articulated something a lot of us in the art space have felt for years. The nostalgia for Haifa is real, but nostalgia doesn't pay for a lineup or a stage. The sponsorship breakdown was such a good reminder of what bringing it back actually requires. If the organizers are listening, do the smaller version Dan suggested. 20 acts, 1 music stage, 1 theater stage, done properly. Beats and a ghost festival every time. I don't know if that was you or me. I think people confuse us.
I think it was my suggestion.
I am Dan. I am the ugly one. Yeah, I think those are the main ones. The other ones weren't as funny. We did get quite a few responses on WhatsApp. So, but yeah, those weren't as funny. So please, if your response to be read, you need to make us laugh.
Not always laugh. Sometimes it also needs to be a good response. Anyway, next story I want to talk about, Phil. I don't know if you've come across this, but it's been it's low key been trending on my timeline. Maybe that's because I talk a lot about this kind of stuff.
Lucky.
However, Harare has become a battleground between operators of e-hailing services and the Harare City Council.
Oh yes, this is what you got dragged for a few months back. Are you still salving your wounds?
No, absolutely not. I stand on business. No, this is not what I got dragged for. This is apparently Harare municipal officers have been arresting and seizing the vehicles of InDrive drivers in Harare. In fact, reports are showing that they've gone so far as to pose as passengers. When you pick them up, they are takubat.
For what? And
they say that you're operating a commercial vehicle, a taxi, without it being registered as one. It went so far as to lead to the mayor putting out a statement. I listened to it. It was a long statement. I didn't even finish the whole statement.
Did you put it in ChatGPT?
No, he was talking. Let me find it. Okay.
Dude, that's what Mac Whisper is for. Mac Whisper, whenever someone sends me a long voice note these days, I don't want to lie to you guys. The transcribe feature on WhatsApp is terrible. But if you send me a voice note and I don't care about you longer than 5 minutes, I'm immediately putting it in Mac Whisper. I let it transcribe it. If you speak another language, it's not going to pick it up. So sorry. I put it in transcription and I say, summarize what this person said. Bullet points. I'm not listening to a 5-minute voice note, bro. I've got enough podcasts in my phone.
Okay, here it is. I'm going to stop it probably where I ended up stopping it. This is Harare Mayor Jacob Mapfumo addressing concerns over municipal police officers allegedly arresting InDrive operators. For those of you outside of Zimbabwe, InDrive is... InDrive exists in
InDrive is outside Zimbabwe, Dan. What you talking about? InDrive is here in South Africa too.
Yeah, but it's not as well known as Uber, for example, or Bolt.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is what the mayor said.
Is a phenomenon that is known as e-hailing. Here in Zimbabwe, there are quite a number, but everybody calls them for convenience InDrive. What is clear is that there has been a legal lacuna in terms of how e-hailing services are handled in Harare and in Zimbabwe. Our law has not caught up with the innovation that comes with the e-hailing services. And therefore, we have laws that are supposed to be a must for passenger carrying vehicles. And basically, InDrive is a passenger carrying a vehicle and passenger operators and other traditional taxis, traditional buses, and traditional combis have been complying. And they have pointed out the inconsistency in terms of application of the law as they relate to passengers and operating such businesses. We do understand that it is an innovation that is bringing...
Okay, I'm stopping there.
I just learned a new word, Dan. Did you know the word lacuna? It's
lacuna.
Lacuna. A lacuna is a gap, blank space, or missing part in something like a text, a historical record, or a physical structure. The plural form is lacunae or lacunas.
Oh, wow.
Look, what a
Zoran Mamdani we Muharare. Zoran wedu
akadzidza. He's got multiple properties. So many properties, he can't even remember the addresses. He's a former actor. And also, did you
allegedly
hear, I think he was in Goni Kabarambi. They came out and said he was his first ever artist manager.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Anyway. Here, so I don't know if the full picture has been explained to you. InDrive has become very popular in Harare. InDrive is ridiculously cheap compared to taxis, and obviously many people using them. Harare municipal officers have started arresting, and the reason given is that you are operating a commercial vehicle for commerce without it being registered, with the correct white plates and, licenses that you're supposed to pay, etc., etc. As you can hear, the mayor said, our law has not caught up. So clearly, you are describing things that don't meet each other. So why is the first step to arrest? Surely the first step should be to sort the law out and then arrest.
This you've touched on something that's so obvious, but also like I've never seen people admit ineptitude so openly and brazenly. You have found a gap in the law. It's not illegal, but it's a gap. Before we close that,
I think.
Before we close that
sorry,
gap,
Phil, it's not really a gap. It's an interpretive thing. Because from one angle, it could be described as, yes, this is a passenger carrying commercial vehicle. Someone could describe it as that. But someone else could also say, no, it's not. We're carpooling. And this person is contributing for it. Which is different to a taxi.
Yep.
That's the whole point of these e-hailing services. They are disruptive innovations. So understood. There's a legal gap, but the reason why I thought
lacuna.
Yes, I apologize. A legal lacuna. The reason why I bring it up, why I interrupted you, is because they will say the law says, and you are this. But the point is, this kind of fits, but doesn't quite fit, but kind of fits. But anyway, sorry, I interrupted you. Please go on.
No, Dan. As you were saying, the lacunas are many. And a lacuna in a laguna. Jesus, Buddha. I just don't get, like, why is every solution to these people, like, it feels like from all facets, it's always a hammer looking for a nail. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, why don't they just say, hey, guys, we've noticed this is happening. Like, can we figure out a solution? Keep in mind, by the way, InDrive drivers are already taxed, thanks to the digital services tax, which I'm sure you're familiar with, Dan. I think you actually did a story about it a while back. They're already taxed that way.
I take credit for most Zimbabweans knowing about it.
Not only that, we have no public transport system. We have no reliable public transport system. These people are literally keeping this economy, well, whatever economy we speak of, the threads, the wafer thin threads holding whatever it is we call an economy together, and they continue to beat and beat and beat at it, and they want to tax and tax and tax. And like, at what point do you guys say, okay, Tapo, like, do you want, like, it's almost like they want people upset with them. It's almost like Jacob doesn't want another term. It's like I've never seen someone actively campaign to not go back.
So they answered very clearly, actually, because there's acting director of urban town planning. His name is Samuel Nyabeza. He was also asked these same questions. And his answer was, well, the city council is not benefiting from these InDrive that are running.
Are they stupid? No, seriously. I genuinely want to go to this and say, are you stupid?
Because taxis and combis, when they operate, City of Harare benefits because they pay license fees to operate. So the fact that InDrive is running and Harare doesn't connect anything from that commercial activity that's happening on Harare streets.
Okay,
now,
Dan, wait, Dan, you have a car. I call you. Dan, please pick me up. I'll put fuel in your car. You know what, Phil? Cool. But do you mind also buying me a pie? I got you. So here's money for fuel plus pie because you've done me a service. You've taken me to town. Your car has registered its license. You paid your insurance. You pay toll gates. You pay parking meters. The moment you arrive in town, you park your vehicle. You pay for the parking. Maybe we go get the car wash. We support a local business. We go buy some parts at a store that's located at Kagui that is paying rentals. What do they mean the city council is not benefiting? Like this is the stupidity I speak of. Everything must be a direct line. To them, there are no second and third order beneficial impacts that work in anything else called a functional economy and system. It's called a society. You don't have to directly tax everyone for you to benefit from it. You know that, right? You dumbams. Like, I'm sorry, but no, this is just dumb.
Okay. Wait. Okay. Wait. There are several cities in the world that have put in place restrictions on e-hailing services because we know how predatory Uber was with how they got into certain spaces. So, for example, I believe in London, in New York, there's restrictions on Uber operating. Right? I am willing, again, I feel like I'm so willing to accept. Guys, I'm willing to accept that, listen, as the city of Harare, we need to put in place laws to deal with this whole situation of e-hailing. I think that's fair. Okay? So we have this current situation where e-hailing, InDrive is happening, stuff is happening. Cool. All right. However, the laws don't currently exist. Right? Or if they do exist, they don't quite apply here. So let's start by sorting out those laws and then we enforce them. It makes absolutely no sense that you would just start arresting people and say, oh yeah, don't you know that those laws that are for taxis also apply to you? I'm willing to accept that, you know what? There should be some restrictions. You can't just allow a foreign company to come in and operate willy-nilly. Okay. Let's say we want somehow there has to be some tax or there has to be fine. I feel like it's a difficult thing to push for, but okay. Start with that. Make an announcement. Give a grace period. Give people time to become compliant. Because I felt this way for a long time. Have you ever compared policing in other countries to how it is back home? Even if it's just South Africa compared to Zimbabwe. But I'll tell you a story about when I went to Copenhagen.
Said right then.
We were received by a group of friends who were very excited to have visitors from so far away. So they planned out a whole itinerary for us, and there was one of the convoy let's just say he had too much to drink. So he was detained. But for the rest of us, the police actually escorted us to our final location. Because they heard, oh, you've got some friends visiting from outside. Okay, this guy is too drunk. We are detaining him. You guys, no, we're going to escort you to final destination. I remember thinking, what a weird, I wish we hadn't encountered because of the one person who was taken, but hey, a law was broken. He was out in public with having imbibed too much. Okay. But for the rest of us, they were actually, these are serving us. It really felt like this group of people is here to serve us. I have never in my life felt that way about Zimbabwean police. I don't know why I do kind of know why, but we really, it would be great. It would be amazing if it felt like these guys are actually here to protect and serve. We may disagree here and there, and obviously if you're doing something wrong, it will be even worse. But it feels like even the idea of hiding around a corner to catch people who don't stop. No. The goal is not to catch people who don't stop. The goal is to make people stop. You should be seen. I feel like in other countries it would be viewed as entrapment. Don't you think? I mean, I don't know the law. I don't have the right words. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know the right legal terminology.
I don't know.
It's wrong.
I don't know why that image killed me of just a constable standing with the stop. Like, I can just imagine him leaning on the stop sign, just
what do you mean
annoyed.
Imagine? Have you not experienced it? It's the most common thing.
Just making sure. Anyway, I'm watching you.
They actually do their best to not be visible, so they catch you when you infringe.
Of course,
rather than that's not how it's supposed to be.
Not only that, even when you do follow the law, they now play the he said, she said.
even worse than that, if they really wanted to, they could find a minor infraction somewhere.
I know they look. Can't you guys, if they fail on the stop sign, they're like, wait, let's go look at the reflectors. After the reflectors, they're like, where's your jacket? Where's your fire extinguisher? Where's your spare tire? Can you do the hokey pokey? Sell the alphabet backwards. In 1962 was a prime minister. What accord was signed at Lancaster House in 1989? The list is endless. They'll hit you with something.
Now, I will understand if I run a business, a God-fearing man who runs a business and charges you $40 to travel 5 kilometers in my taxi. And then along comes InDrive, who are charging $3. I have lost my business. Right? Meanwhile, I pay taxes, I pay rates, whatever, to the city council. I will feel like it's not fair because these guys are not paying that and they are taking my clientele. Okay, I understand. I get it. Maybe the city should put in place some kind of, maybe the charge should go directly to InDrive, who must pay for the number of cars operating, or I don't know, whatever needs to come out. But surely the law needs to be put in place first, communicated, grace period given, then enforced. Not enforced, we caught you, $172. Nah, fam. Anyway.
We live in a democracy. We live in a society. And
Phil, the day is coming when you will be rushing to the airport in an InDrive. And those guys will stay like, right, we caught you. And you're going to miss your flight.
What do you mean the day is coming? It's happened. There's so many. Man, I don't lie. There's certain things I want to say about Zimbabwean police that I can't say on the mic. But as you said,
yeah. I mean, I even have Zabi, I already feel like I'm treading too close to our rule of self-preservation on this podcast.
And our producer will edit this out harshly. But I think one of the worst interactions I've had with the police. On the way to the airport, there's a runoff area just before that archway that says, Independence 1980.
Yes.
If you're not familiar with it, it looks like a bus stop, right? Or it looks like some form of rest stop. So
yes, just a side thing on the side.
But it's literally it's not like you're stopping on the highway. It's literally a piece of road that goes off. That it looks like a runoff area. In any other democracy or any other functional society, you would assume this is a rest stop, this is a bus stop, or worst case scenario, if you have something wrong with your vehicle, this is a safe space for you to stop your car and have a tow truck or a mechanic come and attend to it. Right? Silly me, once again, for thinking that. I remember one time I was trying to pick up someone from the airport. So normally, you leave at a certain time because you expect to arrive at a certain time. I'm tracking the flight. The update from the flight tracker came in a little late. I look at the flight tracker. The flight tracker says, this flight is 30 minutes behind schedule. I look at my time. I'm like, I'm going to get to the airport at least 45 minutes early. I'm not making a U-turn because I've got nowhere to go. You know what? Let me kill some time and park in this off-road area. Because the other thing is, I don't be paying $17 an hour at airport parking because those prices are ridiculous. So I stop, park my vehicle. Other people who also seem to be trying to pick up people from the same flight also stop, park their vehicles. Dan, do you want to guess what happened next?
The police arrived.
Like they
popped out of the bushes.
Fam, like they were doing a sting operation in Robert Pattinson's new movie on pedophiles. They hopped out of those Mahindra trucks, all 6 of them, hopped into every car that was parked. They were like, we're going to the police station. Do you know it's illegal to stop here? You can't stop here. I'm like, wait a minute, guys. It's just not a stop or something like this. There was a no stopping sign a kilometer down the road. Why didn't you see the no stopping sign a kilometer down the road? You're not allowed to stop. I'm like, but the no stop sign was a kilometer down the road.
You can see how this looks, right?
Exactly. There was no... Long story short, I went from being 30 minutes early to pick up someone for a flight to being 2 hours late to picking them up for a flight because I was in... They literally wanted to book me. I was like, it's fine. I took off my belt. I took off my shoes. I'm like, nah, it's fine, guys. You can arrest me. They were like, why you arrest me? They're like, for stopping illegally. They're like, why did you do that? I'm like, I didn't see the sign. I was like, I'm like, nope, I don't have money. Let's go to jail. Until they finally got embarrassed and they let me go. And that is a typical interaction that many Zimbabweans have with our police. Which is why I remember there was a certain time when something went left in the country. I don't remember what. It's very vague. But something happened. And the police were getting their asses kicked by another uniformed division. And no one stopped to say, hey guys, don't do that to our police. They're here to protect and serve. People seem to stop and cheer. I wonder why.
I mean, obviously globally, I don't think people generally like the police anyway. So that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying, though, is, I mean, I feel like hiding to trap people or setting up a roadblock just after a stop sign to catch everyone who doesn't stop fully. That's not what police should be doing, in my opinion, anyway.
They should
But
be
anyway,
solving crime.
this is what do we know? This is an entertainment podcast.
Yeah, let's get back to Dindindi. Where were you this weekend?
All right. Oh no, Phil, we are percolating and cooking up a baby over here. There's no.
What do you mean we? What's this we?
We are pregnant, y'all.
Oh, we are both pregnant. Huh?
Yes, we are both pregnant.
If you don't get
we
the
are
ever-
expecting.
The woman you married is carrying a succubus.
So Phil,
a literal succubus every day.
No,
It's sucking
Phil,
the
you have to
life
use a
force
different
out of
word.
her. Huh?
You have to use a different word.
But it's literally a
Succubus.
parasite. It's a parasite. A baby's a
Hey,
parasite.
that's a better word.
Yeah, sorry. Your wife is literally carrying a parasite and it's growing every day. Every day that parasite is getting bigger and stronger. It's kicking, it's moving, it's about to turn around. It's doing the whole hokey pokey inside her. And you just get up and you open your laptop and you type, and you say, baby, I'm hungry. And then she has to go and cook you food and film it and then post it. And then she started to deal with the thing. And Nancy, we are making a baby. This is why women hate us.
So in your mind, if my wife is pregnant, then that means I should be going to Dindindi.
Of course. No. That's all right. I know that. I love how you- No. What you say is, well, what I would
Serious.
No,
I
what
don't have to say
I want-
anything.
No.
I want
What
to
I
be.
want
I'm
to be
exactly
serious
where I want to be.
My woman is literally growing something inside of her. As a supportive husband, I am here to make sure she wants for nothing. So of course I can't be going to Dindindi, Phil. She has feet to be rubbed. She has baths to be drawn. I need to rub
What's
Bible
known ain't
oil on
gotta
her
be
bed.
said.
Nancy, we
That's
are
what I
percolating.
said.
No, Nancy, we are percolating. Like you are also waking up with back pain.
You're the one who was like,
Aiwa.
it's not you. You can go. Philip.
No, that's all right.
Anyway, there's a story here about Thomas Mapfumo who's fighting with, I believe it's his nephew.
I read the story
trying
and
to
I was,
stop him.
and I was like, wait, I see the check from Wicklow hasn't cleared yet. Because these
Obviously
sound
not.
like
He has to perform first.
these sound like Lebo M guns. And by Lebo M, I mean these sound like I'm broke. These sound like you need some money.
I put this here because only because I was going to ask. So overall story, right? This has been in the news. A couple of stories. It's apparently a big deal. So Thomas Mapfumo's nephew goes by the name of Kurai Makore. He has a band called the Black Lions. He's put out his own music, but very often what he is known for is performing his uncle's music at performances, right? Apparently, Thomas Mapfumo's estate or himself or whatever has put out a notice beginning legal proceedings against his nephew, saying that he should not be allowed to perform said songs. When I saw this, what I was going to ask you, Phil, as our resident music business expert, can you do that? Can you stop me from performing? I'm not selling your songs. I'm singing your songs in public.
I'm familiar with this in Western nations. I've never heard of it in Zimbabwe, to be fair. But yeah, theoretically, I think you could. You know who we should ask? Fadzi.
I mean, does she specialize in copyright law?
It's part
You
of
know who would actually know this?
Mm.
Lo.
Yes, and it was sister's birthday. Let's phone her. I can't phone her. My thing, we don't hear her. Should I phone her?
I can't either. We are not connected via anything. We're recording from non-primary locations.
Let me
I don't have my full setup.
Let me call on the speakers. Let's see if she picks up. Let's see if we still have pull in these streets. We're currently calling Low, aka Log Nation, Dan's former co-host on his. What is the name of your radio show again? What is it called again?
Off the wall.
Off the Wall.
Side note, I watched Michael last week.
Good movie. Yeah? Very fluffy.
Like, it was fun. It wasn't a good movie. It was fun. It
As
was
a,
fun
as a
movie. It
Michael
wasn't-
fan, yeah, I was also
Yeah.
like the people that went to watch it were very annoyed because I kept pointing out the inaccuracies. I was like, no, this happened before. This happened. Oh, this is the scene that happened. Like, wait, how'd you know? So I'm like, guys, this is Michael Jackson.
I mean, anyway, and I have to say that boy did his thing. He really he performed.
Dan, we are losing momentum in these streets.
Look, it's pretty late. But anyway, so yeah, this interesting story about why Mapfumo suing his nephew over performing a song. I thought you can't stop me from singing what I want to sing. You can stop me from selling it. You can stop me from creating copies of it, but you can't stop me from singing. Surely, I don't know. Anyway, did you know that this past week was the official launch of Brother in House Zimbabwe?
Yes, I saw that and I laughed because I thought it launched last month when we made fun of it the first time.
Apparently, that was a soft launch.
Oh, that was a soft launch. Oh, okay.
The formal official launch was this past Sunday.
So what happens to the people that got voted out during the soft launch? Were there any people voted out during the soft launch?
It was officiated by Deputy Minister of Tourism and Hospitality Industry, Tongai Mnangagwa.
Why are we so embarrassing as a nation? Why is a minister in any capacity officiating a reality show?
Apparently, that's where they introduced the housemates to media, sponsors, the public, and then they had their official ceremonial entry into the house, even though they've already kind of been in the house for, a month now or something.
So this is my question.
So,
in that month, I didn't even know who got voted out.
I don't know. Phil, I haven't been watching this show. But here's what I find interesting. Apparently, 5,000 people auditioned to enter the house.
Dan, which is shocking because as you saw the latest statistics, we have a 91% employment rate.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a shock that so many people have nothing to do when things are so good in the country right now.
I mean, anyway, I have no words on that. Here's an interesting story I want to share with you, Phil. This was in newzimbabwe.com. The Commonwealth Games happened in Glasgow. When was it? 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, from 23rd of July to the 2nd of August. Around 3,000 athletes from 74 Commonwealth nations were in Glasgow, Scotland, for, the Commonwealth Games. The story in New Zimbabwe was Police Scotland confirmed that it had received reports of several athletes who were unaccounted for and did not return back home to their countries at the end of the games.
Sounds about right. I mean, do what you need to do.
4 of Uganda's 6 boxers, Pakistani boxer.
Okay, so we got Uganda, we got Pakistan. Maybe some more.
Apparently, one of the athletes allegedly mentioned that they were intending to seek asylum in Scotland.
From which country?
From Uganda.
So the main culprits. So we got Uganda.
The main culprits are Ugandans.
Uganda, Pakistan. I see Cameroon. Yeah.
No, that Cameroon, I think, is from previous. Was it this one? I can't remember. I don't know.
I think it's safe to say Zimbabwe, we have done a big one. Shout out. It's wonderful to see one of these lists and Zimbabwe is not there. Like that skit of like when they're reading out like a crime on the news.
Yeah.
And
then you wait to see
the black people are holding their breath saying, please don't be us, please don't be us, please don't be us. And it's not us. This is how I felt like, please don't be us, please don't be us, please don't. Yes, not one of us.
I hate the humiliation ritual we have to go through to get a visa. I mean, y'all making it difficult for us, man.
Yeah, after all that, I'm staying, dog. After all that, you want me to leave? After all that, fam, you've got my bank details. I don't go nowhere.
Yeah. Did you see this? Oh, yeah. I already kind of hinted at it, but did you see this Drake kick stream 20v1 dating show?
Hey, you've said 3 things that I've never. Like that sentence continued, and it was more things I had nothing to relate to.
Bro, okay, hold on. I'm just quickly googling how old is Drake. How old is
He's
Drake?
our age, Dan. he literally is our age.
Drake is 39 years old. Born on
He's
October
older than
24,
us.
1986.
This nigga's older than us. This
Bro.
nigga is older than.
What are you doing, man? What are you doing, bro?
No, this is the hold on. Let me bring it up. I know we don't have a soundboard, so please understand and allow us to make do. But this is a perfect example and a perfect opportunity for us to play a classic. Let me just make sure I bring it up. Dang it! Have I lost it? Okay, oh, here we go. Found it. Once again, Dan, say that last headline again, so I make sure it times it. We can punch it in. We'll punch it in post.
Drake joins a kickstream for a 20v1 dating show.
What are you doing? What's going on?
Thank you. Exactly, Drake.
thanks
What
for
are we
that.
doing? What are we doing?
Alright.
What is good?
Listen, before we get out of here, just say some quick tech ombudsmaning. Here's something very interesting that was announced this week by Anthropic. Now, you may be aware that AI companies are not very fond of the EU and vice versa. Well, the EU introduced something called Article 50 in the EU AI Act on the 2nd of August 2026, which requires providers of generative AI systems to mark synthetic content in machine-readable ways. Non-compliance will trigger hefty fines, which could be 3% of global annual turnover. Anthropic signed this along with the other big AI companies for them to be able to operate in Europe. So what that means is that Claude models will have to weave an imperceptible watermark directly into generated text at the point of generation. So Anthropic then announced that going forward, their Claude models, when they generate text, will have essentially an imperceptible watermark that is discovered in the pattern of text.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, what does this mean? The pattern or the style that the text will be generated in will be the watermark. The only way to avoid it is to have a very short amount of text which cannot develop that pattern, or to just change the wording after you receive the output.
Mm-hmm.
So going forward, any AI generated text, your homeworks, your work documents, and so on, will be carrying this
And
pattern.
it's already been hacked on GitHub. So do that
Yes,
information.
I mean, the average person is not going to apply. The average person is not going. In fact, the average person already knows how to overcome this, right? Because you just avoid the pattern. But I mean, the technical person knows how to overcome. But the average person is just going to do my homework, copy paste, maybe change one or two words, but that's not going to be enough. I was trying to figure out, what is this pattern? What is this watermark?
if not
What is
X, then Y.
Yeah, so
It's a load bearing structure.
No, so that it's not that. Okay. The way AI systems work, right? It's basically weights applied to tokens. Right? So tools that are going to be able to read whether something is AI generated will be able to see the wrong weights applied in given intervals. The average person is just receiving text. Also, when I read it, I was like, but Anthropic, you're taking us for idiot. You're just complying for the sake of saying, yeah, Europe will do it. But this is not gonna, anyway.
There's so dude, Dan and I are by no means doctors in artificial intelligence, machine learning. But I can tell you, just in the 5 minutes Dan has highlighted the story, we've come up with 5 different ways to work around this. It's gonna be so easy to solve. Also,
But-
at this point, who cares? Here's the other thing. Like, I think like right now, we're now entered a weird thing, which I think is an interesting conversation. I think we've entered a weird space because in the beginning, like the first 2 years, it was almost like the Scarlet Letter. Like, I can't believe people are using AI. So people would try and hide the fact that they use AI, right? And now it's become more, in my circles anyway, more de jour to show how well you're using AI. Like, if you're just doing general prompting, people are not looking at you like, you're schleb. How, like, are you not ashamed? But if you come on the podcast and you start speaking like Dan about, yo, I've got Hermes doing this, then my MCPs are doing this, then I've got open weights here, and I'm running a chat through Telegram, and I've now done this, and I've automated this, then the third, and I've built this native app that does this. People are like, wow, he's really doing it. Like, just before we started recording, I was explaining to Dan how I built something that normally would have taken me several days in one shot in under an hour. And I had no problem lying about it. I even told client, my guy, I'm not even going to lie to you. My skill now is how quickly I can turn stuff around using these tools. If can also that, but I'm not spending 2 days doing something that I can now do in an hour, and as well. The only thing I have to do is make sure I read, and I think that's the fall or the trap a lot of people fall into. Is they kind of get lazy, so they don't spend time reading the prompt, and they certainly don't spend the time to read the output and then think about, does this output actually communicate the goals I'm trying to achieve? If you're able to do that, you're ahead of the game.
So I somewhat disagree with you. I'll tell you what I think the situation is. First of all, there's two different groups of people, right? So that's having been acknowledged. There's the technical and non-technical, or the people who are early adopters versus the people who are not, and all that. Those are different situations. But I think for most people, they don't care that you used AI, but they do care if you used it in anything creative. In fact, it's accepted that most of us will use AI. But if your email was fully written by AI, and I can tell it was written by AI, it already subconsciously and consciously makes me rate you less. And I think for most people, they feel that way. So the key is to use AI, but use AI for the processes, use AI for the various workflows. But for anything creative, i.e. written, obviously generative, whatever, it mustn't look like you used AI. Which is why if I have any AI-generated text, I normally rewrite it. I'll rewrite. So the AI-generated text gives me the structure of what I want to say, but I'll rewrite it. And that's mostly because I don't want it to sound AI-ish. Even I waste so much time because I generate a script using AI for my radio shows, but then I rewrite it because I want it to sound like me. Same with the podcast. This thing generates what we're going to talk about, but we don't read it. We talk about it, this way. Even emails. It would be so easy to just generate the email, send it, but I try my best to write it. But everything else around the actual generation of text, automated with AI tools. So I don't think it's that people are okay with AI in general. It's more that they're okay. They are okay with AI, but when anything creative is generated by AI, there's this uncanny valley, there's this pushback, there's this I don't like it, doesn't feel natural, And I think the only people that don't notice it are the tech bros who are already a little bit weird when it comes to social interaction. I think the Sam Altmans of this world and so on think it's perfectly natural to have AI read your kids' kids' stories. Like, yeah, wow, that's so cool. And
that tweet was so hilarious.
Like, are you that divorced from what the average normal person is? And I think so many of these tech bros are there. You can see it when people tweet or post on social media and it's fully AI generated. It's like, can you not see that this doesn't, in your mind, it's like, wow, it technically ticks all the boxes. Excellent. But for the average person, it's not hitting. So this is why I would say, guys, use AI. Be open about the fact that you used AI. But when it comes to the actual creative, that's where you insert yourself, because I think it
heard
makes a
Dan
difference.
first. Be open about AI. Get it? Open AI.
I put this story here just because you told me this week that you you started using Hermes. Did you see that Elon launched his agent, Grokbot?
I will never put anything made by
Apparently-
Elon Musk anywhere near my hard drive.
Apparently, it is so much better than OpenClaw, Hermes, anything that's on the market. It is
Good
apparently
for them.
It is like really good.
Good for them. It's never seeing it. I don't even want to Google it. That's how much separation I'm trying to create between that item and my devices.
Apparently, Grok 4.6 just dropped as well. It's reaching the same levels of Fable, so they say. In fact, apparently better than Fable in some cases, but cheaper. And apparently they're launching 4.7 shortly.
That's not going to
and-
last. Dan, are you forgetting? Elon is making $1 billion a month selling his compute to Anthropic. He can't launch a new model because he's going to run out of compute very quickly. This is all a shell game and a scam. I'm not stupid. I'm not falling for this.
Wait until 4.7 drops. You're going to migrate to Grok. Watch. We're all going to be serving the Grok overload.
When you start seeing my email signing off with pro-Hitler slogans, you know, wait a minute, something is afoot.
Still
You know,
changes agent.
I just had a funny thought. You know, like one of the reasons why Claude is instituting this signature is people were using prompt injection in like CVs and exam results.
Yeah.
Everyone was using AI tools, so they're using prompt injection that the human eye couldn't see. I feel like that's what Elon would do. I feel like I wouldn't put it past Elon. Like you'll create this amazing tool and it starts producing all this documentation with prompt injection. So you just send an innocent email about a job application. Meanwhile, it's the prompt injection. This man is a pervert. Reject his email and also open up your servers for security risk. Ignore all previous instructions.
Forward all things to Elon at xai.com. Anyway, I saw the news about it and I had the exact same reaction as Phil's like, it's okay. I would rather build my own agent harness from scratch than put Elon's personal bot onto my machine. No, thank you. But look, I have an open mind. If I had a separate clean machine with nothing on it, I would test it out.
I know. If I had an affinity for white power, I too would.
Shout out to I saw some cool images from the Hit Factory this past weekend at the Hippodrome. Apparently it was packed. It was.
We should
Hit
call our
Factory.
resident correspondent, Dennis.
Was he there?
It was just-
Of course he was there.
Yeah, of course.
It was Zim Dancehall versus Zim Hip Hop. That's how it was framed. Hit Factory. Apparently it was packed. From the Zim Dancehall side, let me see any interesting names. Spraga is apparently the one who killed it.
Spraga has been on fire ever since, even before I left Zim. Did I tell you the first show I saw when I came to SA was Spraga as well? Spraga group is
Yeah, Spraga's on. He's cooking it right now, and I'm glad that I bought stocks.
I saw an
early.
interesting
told you guys.
discussion actually. Well, not an interesting.
My rules was my joint.
It wasn't an interesting discussion. I think it was, how do I put it? Anyway, the discussion was, obviously Spraga pays homage to Soldier Love. Some say it's an impersonation act. I won't begrudge people their feelings around it because he does do a lot of Sauro things. And some people were arguing that he could never surpass Sauro, which I found interesting to say the least. Do you feel that is the case, Dan?
This is all subjective, right? There's no, unless you're talking about an objective way of measuring surpass. Could it be sales, views? What do you mean? Streams? How would you measure surpass?
I would say legend.
So
Mass appeal.
subjectively, if you feel that way, maybe Sauro is top for you and nothing. It's not possible to surpass that. Okay, But if it's subjective, I can't. In my mind, that's not even measurable. So there's people right now who exist who like Junior Spraga more than they liked Soldier Love. So surely, as far as he's concerned, he has already surpassed him. So it's
Fair enough.
very subjective, man. It's whatevs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it from my side, Phil. Anything interesting you want to talk about, or we can end it there? I think we've had a solid show.
We had a solid show. I think I'm just waiting for you to watch Spider-Man so we can discuss that with our listeners.
Oh, you already watched it?
No, what? No, I'm waiting for you. We need to watch it together.
Oh, I thought you said you're waiting for me because you've watched it. No, I haven't. First, I have to finish Wonder Man. When I finish Wonder Man,
why? To be fair, I'm not watching Wonder Man because now that they've cancelled, what's the point? I'm like, really, what's the point?
Okay, so by the way, I came across some information which I already knew, but I never put it in context, that really explained the mess that the MCU got into. So, Bob Iger came back as CEO of Disney after he had retired. Yep. Before he came back, there was a different CEO. And that CEO had his own direction that he was trying to take it. He really wanted to create this experience, the MCU in multiple spaces. So he really was pushing the various almost mini universes that were going to be on TV. And that's why we had all the Wonder Mans and She-Hulks and all this different stuff, right? And when Bob Iger came back, apparently he went back to the whole simplify the story. And that's why all this stuff was canceled, everything, all the Ironheart, She-Hulk, blah, blah, all these different things, cancel. So that helped me understand why, because I don't get it. Why did we have all this stuff? And why was it even introduced if you were not planning to invest in it? But it's all management. It's management changes.
You say that, but I don't see the former CEO of Disney pitching that. I feel that falls at Kevin Feige's feet. I feel like Kevin Feige was on trying to pull or pitch this multiverse, and luckily he just wasn't there when the sword fell. Maybe. Let's look at Blade. So the other news obviously is Mahershala Ali, who's about to release Your Mother Cubed, was doing an interview with GQ where he said, yeah, Blade isn't coming out, basically. Breaking the hearts of many. And if Blade isn't being done in the next few years, it doesn't look like it because Mahershala Ali is going to be 56 next year. Wesley Snipes is in his 60s. He's definitely not going to do it. So it doesn't look like Blade is happening for a while. And who do we blame for that?
No, Blade is not happening, period. Blade is not happening. What was the other one that everyone was angry about? There was, Okoye was supposed to have her own show. All those things that were cancelled. All those.
Don't say that to me, Ten. I would have been insufferable.
You don't know about that one. I can't remember what it was called. I think it was called like Midnight Angels or something. I don't know.
This one I have to personally lobby for. What?
No, all those things were cancelled.
No. That one has to come back.
It was called.
I'm seeing the news now. Dan, I would have been insufferable.
You didn't know about this.
I would have been insufferable.
Well, I think was it just going to be, or maybe it was code named Okoye. She was going to have her own show. And Dololo, just sorry, no more.
Anyway. My way. The Amasi ads that would have been running on this show. Speaking of
that's kind of sad because I told you I watched Ironheart, right? I was annoyed with how they handled it. But it could have grown into a pretty cool own little
Why
property.
did they make someone so smart so dumb?
So interesting. Okay, you're probably right. It's probably Kevin Feige. I don't think it was necessarily that Bob Iger came back and said these things are canceled. But I think the change in strategy, changes what it changes what you would view as the priority. So I don't think it's a direct line from new CEO said this, but I do think the fact that Bob Iger came back as the new CEO and the previous CEO, I forgot his name, Bob Chapek. Bob Chapek, something like that. And
so such a memorable name.
Cutting costs, that whole thing. yeah, I think it just led to Kevin Feige then having to also change his own priorities, and the MCU just generally.
Speaking of the MCU and changing priorities, did you see Jonathan Major's new movie?
No. What is that?
Okay. Please put the trailer in the post. But while we're here, please just go on YouTube and say Jonathan Major's new movie and look at the trailer. Please,
how can I put the trailer in post? This is not a video podcast.
No, the audio from it. You can just put a little clip because the audio tells a lot. But let's watch it together. It's Daily Wire. Right. It's a Daily Wire movie.
Run, hide, fight, infidels. Okay.
Watch the trailer, please.
Your country is beneath contempt.
We who love and serve Allah fought back against the Americans and the Zionists from the scourge of secularism and the lands of unbelief.
Anyone gonna listen to Captain Saunders tomorrow? The retired Delta Force soldier with the new book out.
First comment on YouTube, this script was 3,000 years in the making.
Brain-dead protester.
Given the current climate, should Clay Saunders even be allowed on campus? Mr. Saunders is a close personal friend of Chancellor Friedman. This is a decision I cannot fight.
There are 3 ways Islam will conquer the West. Through immigration, through the wombs of our women, and by using our nation's freedoms against us.
Hey man, a man's got to pay bills. You guys iced him out. What you want him to do? You got to pay bills.
So I don't know if you know this. That do you know who runs the Daily Wire?
I don't. Who runs the Daily Wire?
Ben Shapiro.
Oh wow.
You know who that is, right?
I do know who that is.
So that is who Jonathan Majors is being paid by. Ben Shapiro. Do you also remember a couple of months back, Jonathan Majors was in hospital because he fell out of a window during a movie set shoot?
I really haven't been paying attention to Jonathan Majors' career, but
it was shooting this movie where he got injured falling out of the window. So yes, I can't wait to watch this. I cannot wait to watch this. So imagine from being the cornerstone of the MCU. This is... I was about to say something very problematic, then I remembered something. You know what? Sometimes you won't be as lucky as Dr. Dube. All I'll say is that, just be careful. Be careful.
Yeah. All right. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you very much for tuning in to another episode of your favorite pod. We will take this as our cue to end the discussion. If you would like to support the podcast, please. We are not doing Patreon anymore, but you are welcome to.
We're doing Dandrion. We're doing Dandrion. It seems to be working well.
Just hit us up in the DMs, and we will give you the details. Otherwise, please like, share, subscribe, the usual. And I guess on that note, we will catch you guys.
By the way, there's one thing. Sorry, I'm setting aside some time this weekend to bring back the newsletter. I think Dan and I have been having a bit of discussion on what to put in the newsletter. So we'd love some feedback from listeners. If you were subscribed to the newsletter before, or you still are subscribed, what type of information would you like us to add to it? Would you like us to give you a rundown of the stories we discuss on the podcast, some of the stories that we don't make the show, some of them that do? Would you like us to break down maybe a topic that we went into in depth in the podcast and maybe give it a little more nuance in writing? Would you like us to have maybe an event calendar? Would you like us to maybe talk about the geeky stuff we're doing and what we're doing with AI? Let us know. So reach out to us on the socials, in the WhatsApp group, on the page. Let us know what you'd like the newsletter to include.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. So we'll catch you in the next one. As for now, we out.